Mabuhay, Kamustika, welcome. How are you? This is Bob from Love Beyond the Sea. I had an idea for a video series I'm going to start today, and I think it could be misunderstood. So right off the bat, I just want to explain this. Today, this will be the first of a three-part series I'm going to call Why My Wife Won't Leave Me, Why My Wife Won't Lie to Me, and Why My Wife Won't Cheat on Me. I will preface this by saying I'm not trying to be cocky, I'm not trying to sound overconfident, not trying to come across as being arrogant. I just don't like the idea of marrying somebody only to live in fear of whether or not they really are in it for the long haul. One day a coworker of my wife, after she had been working there maybe a few months, asked her if she thought our marriage would last. Her response was, of course. She seemed kind of taken back by that question. This is not to say our marriage is perfect, since nobody has a perfect marriage, of course. I want to explain that I'm just being confident that as long as I'm faithful to her and I don't abuse her, why I think my Filipina wife will never leave me. And you may feel differently about some of these, and that's okay. They're just some observations of mine. Certainly comments are always welcome here on Love Beyond the Sea. And I welcome subscribers to this channel that tries to help foreigners and Filipinas in their marital relationship. So let's get into some of these reasons why my Filipina wife won't leave me. Well, we had a large wedding of over 100 in attendance. We got married in the Philippines. We had a lot of witnesses. And I would like to believe this gives both of us a sense of accountability, especially my wife. My wife's family and friends were there. And like I said, between 100 and 150 in attendance, it's hard to tell. I'm sure some of them left after the actual wedding, and then we had the celebration. It would have been nice to have somebody from my family there, but that just wasn't the case. At the wedding, maybe it was the wedding reception, both parents took the microphone and spoke to me. I remember Papa's expression, "no other women." And I can't remember if he even said that in excuse me, Tagalog or English, but that's what he said. I knew her mother preferred that she not marry excuse me, a foreigner and leave home, but that was a motivation for me to take good care of her daughter. Without their blessing, I am still single, so I am indebted to them for her hand in marriage. And by the way, this stupid cough is going on about a year now. I'm starting to lose hope that anything can be done about that. Another reason, there were many principal sponsors at our wedding, and they were sitting closest, and they're important people in my wife's life that she selects to be at the wedding. One couple I have communicated with on occasion, asking for some marital advice, and that's really what they're for. And I believe if I take his advice to heart, that I believe my wife will not leave me. At the celebration, we both took the mic and talk to each other about our commitment. I don't know if they do that here in American weddings, but I like the idea, and I thought it would be kind of uncomfortable taking the microphone, and most people, excuse me, any kind of public speaking is going to be a little bit intimidating. But I did not mind telling them that I came all that distance to marry her and to love her and take good care of her, and try to convince them that I was being authentic. So again, I don't know if they have that here in America, but I have a video from this celebration I just really wish I could display on this channel, where my wife is talking probably for the better part of 10 minutes on how she wants to change my life, make me forget about those 30 years, and she sure seemed very heartfelt to me. I'd love to show it to you, but I have to agree with my wife that that one's kind of too private. Another reason I don't think my Filipino wife will leave me is we married to in the Philippines rather, And I'm sure part of that was so that she could be in front of all her friends and family. But I think it's also true when people say it's more difficult to get a divorce when married in the Philippines. And that's fine with me. Another reason, and again, these are not necessarily going to knock anybody off their chair, but you have to just take all of them together. She has photos of us all over the house. In fact, she just bought another photo holder. So it have to be taken as a whole, the sum of the parts. A lot of couples have photos around their place, and I think that's a great idea. It makes a house feel like a home. Seeing them in whatever room I happen to be in, it gives me a sense that she is not going to leave me, that she wants to build even more memories with, as evidenced by these pictures. Now, we also work at the same company. In fact, her area is just on the other side of a hallway. I can actually see into it from one of the offices nearby. I sit with her at break or at lunch when it's convenient, and we fit right in there as a couple. I'm not uncomfortable at all with her there. If anyone knows me, they know I'm crazy about my dream Filipina. I've worked there for almost 38 years, and there's probably more people that know me than I am aware of, and I think that makes some accountability, because it would be very difficult to hide some kind of impropriety on my wife's part, because I would know about it pretty quick. It's kind of like if you're in the Philippines and you pull a fast one. There's so many Filipina family members of the Filipina that the word is going to get around pretty fast, and I think that kind of thing would happen at work if she tried to do something. A lot of married couples work there where I do, so we're just another married couple there as far as I'm concerned. In fact, I recently signed up to work in her area on overtime since they need it really badly, and I've done that a couple times now, so we've actually had a chance to work in the same area, just recently. So, other reasons why I believe my Filipina wife won't leave me is she cares about her reputation. She cares about it a lot. She wants to be an excellent wife, and she would like to think that other people knows that she is an excellent wife. Another reason, my wife realizes just how far I came to marry her from the middle of the United States. It's 4 flights, a day and a half of travel, and she's experienced it 3 times now since we've been married, and she realizes it's a grind. I would like to think that when a man goes halfway across the world to marry a woman that he hadn't met in person yet, that would indicate to her that he is very serious about her. So by now, about 3.5 years into our marriage, we've seen each other at our worst. And that's important because, until you marry somebody, you really don't know what they're like. But if you can survive those moments when you see each other at your worst and keep going, learn to continue to make your marriage work, and I think that gives me some confidence that we're going to be able to stay together. Another reason is my wife knows that I'm crazy about her. I wonder if she feels that other men would feel about her the way I do. I'm just nuts about her. My wife knows that I have been good to her and her family. That's another reason, out of many, that I think my Filipino wife won't leave me. Now, being good to her family is a prime reason a Filipina marries a foreigner. If he loves her family like he loves her, he is going to be a dream husband for this Filipina. My wife also knows that I don't bind or restrict her financially. It helps that she has her own job, works a lot of hours, and I try to encourage her to be generous to her family, and I help as well. Another reason I'd like to believe my Filipino wife won't leave me is she knows that I need her very much. Another reason is she wants a baby, and even though I'm getting up there, presently I am trying to give her one. My wife knows that I want to have a healthy marriage. merely having this channel, Love Beyond the Sea, is a form of accountability for me. I need to practice what I preach. And that's good because I want to keep having good things to say as I learn about how to love her, how to get through the valleys. You'll have your peaks, but it's the valleys that concern me that we're able to process through. Also, I encourage my wife to visit the Philippines whenever she needs to. I don't want her to feel like, "Hun, you're here now in the United States, and you really don't need to go back now because you have a new life." And while it's true she has a new life, it's important to her, probably to most Filipinas, to be able to go home whenever they feel like they really need to go back. So every time we go, I come back, I don't feel like going back for a while, but then eventually I feel like, you know what, I miss the Philippines. The 3 weeks we're there just goes by way too fast. Another reason I believe my Filipina won't leave me is she's never given me any slightest indication that she would. Another reason is my wife knows I want to and am able, I hope, to help her financially after I die. She's in my will, in my life insurance. She knows who our financial advisor is. I have a video out, something like 4 concerns I have for my Filipina when I die. Helping her out financially is a part of that. And my financial advisor has told me that, something happens to me, even if Isa is in the Philippines, she'll make sure that she gets the help that she needs. So it's important that I made my financial advisor very aware, of our situation and our intentions. So these are some reasons that I have that my Filipina won't leave me. And again, I'm just being honest. Matter of fact, I'm not here thumping my chest saying that I'm such a great husband that she wouldn't leave me. I'll tell you this, everybody has to be on their best behavior. There's just certain things that a Filipina will not tolerate. And, abuse of any kind, violence, being unfaithful to her, that pretty much goes for any woman, so certainly don't do these things. And here are some reasons why, I feel secure in our relationship. And we all want to feel secure in our relationship with our Filipina. And I hope this has helped you. And I just don't think I have to worry about my wife leaving me for another love beyond the sea.